What's up? Jay from Trick Train Academy. I'm excited with this video because I've been wanting to do one of these videos for a while, but it was kind of intricate in terms of finding body cam that I can actually use without getting copyright issues. One of the users was nice enough to send me over his body cam. He commented in the last video that I did on possession of a firearm inside of a car, and he said that he was charged with open carrying a firearm. I asked him to send me the body cam so I could learn more and kind of talk about the situation and figure out why he was charged with open carrying a firearm. He was nice enough to send me that video yesterday. I went through it, saw everything, made the notes, talked about it, and now I'm going to share the video with you guys because he gave me permission to actually share it. So we're going to see how a welfare check for two individuals sleeping in a car turns into an arrest for DUI, open carrying a firearm, unlawful use of a firearms license, and resisting without arrest. These are charges that, a lot of these are charges that cops easily throw against you, but if you have a decent lawyer, typically your lawyer can beat them. Now, I preface with that I am not a lawyer. I'm a firearms instructor. I do teach the CCW class. I do offer private lessons, and I do work in private security. So a lot of these situations, especially when it comes to drunk individuals in cars, I've been dealing with for years now. The difference between security and law enforcement, one is qualified immunity. As security, I don't have qualified immunity, so during each step of any interaction I have with a civilian, I have to guarantee that I am not violating their civil rights because I can face all the repercussions for that if they choose to bring a civil lawsuit against me. Unfortunately, officers don't have that same thought process because they know on the back of their heads there's a department that is going to back them up, which departments should back them up. Like, don't get me wrong, if you're going to ask me to go and do a job, at least be able to provide legal services if I need them. But it creates this false safety net in the back of officers' heads, which usually results in violation of civil rights. So, we're going to break down what I see in the video, how things went wrong, where they went wrong, and why this turned out to be what it is. So, without further ado, let's get into the video.
New Jersey Tag Echo 13, Romeo Sierra Echo. Shoots two black guns.
Miami Beach Police, open your door.
Police!
Open your door. Miami Beach Police, open your door.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Yo,
What's going on, man?
Open the fucking door. Open the door.
For what?
Open it, bro. Open the door, bro. Open the door, bro. Turn off the car. Turn off the car.
Wait, just go.
What the hell's going on with you, man? Get out of the car.
Open the door, bro. Open the door.
Door, bro.
Open the door. Turn off the car. Turn off the car. Go, go. You guys are, what are you guys doing here? You guys don't need medical attention? Would you fall asleep or what's the problem?
Why didn't you ask us that before you opened the car?
Excuse me? We've been telling you to open the door, and you've been looking at us like a deer in headlights.
We need medical attention. If we need medical attention,
Yeah.
you open the door.
Well, we gotta make contact
We
with you.
don't need medical attention.
You don't need medical attention. Why are you here? For the sleep? What's?
Parked here. We're waiting for someone to come here.
Okay. Well, somebody called. Security called, and they were.
Listen, let me make it very clear to you, all right? You got a liquor bottle in the back, all right? If you want to play the game with me, I'll play the game with you, all right? We got sent over here as a medical emergency because you guys were passed out in your car is turned off.
We're sleeping in the car.
All right. Why are you sleeping in the car?
Because we're sleeping in the car.
Yeah? Is it because you had a little bit too much to drink?
No.
No? Then why do you have an open container in the back of your car?
Because we're sleeping in the car.
That's not my question. Why do you have an open container in the back of your car?
I didn't call you guys.
I didn't ask if you called me. I'm asking you a question. Answer my question. Why do you have an open container in the back of your car? Huh? 55. Where? Another question. Why do you have your gun on the floor?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The gun that I just took out. Why do you have a gun on the floor? You have any other weapons in the car?
I don't answer.
Alright, step out of the car.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't consent to you guys to search my vehicle. I didn't consent.
No one's searching your vehicle. Let me make sure you don't have any other.
Just don't answer any questions, man. You don't have to.
Okay, so we can see from that quick 4 minutes, 30 seconds worth of video, things already start to go left. So security guard called because there was individuals sleeping in a car and he wasn't sure if they were passed out or if they needed medical attention. So this whole situation becomes essentially a knock and talk. It's a voluntary encounter. It's not a criminal investigation. So there's no suspicion of a crime happening right here. There was no call that they are illegally parked and they don't want to leave. It wasn't that they were disgruntled. It was that they're sleeping in a car and I'm not sure if they are okay or not because they are dead asleep. So that's what the officers come up and do. They shine their lights inside of the window. Everything that they can see is in plain view. They do see a open container in the back, which, you know, we can all probably deduce that that's why they're sleeping in the cars. They might have had a little bit too much to drink. Now, typically, when you have your keys and you're in the driver's seat, it can constitute as a DUI, but there are still certain criteria that must be met first. But before we even get there, officers will oftentimes ask you to step out of the car, and Pennsylvania versus Mims is the case law that allows officers to ask you to step out of the car. But Pennsylvania versus Mims only applies when it is a criminal investigation or when there's a lawful traffic stop. This is also not a traffic stop. These individuals were not driving, they were not operating the vehicle, they were asleep inside of the vehicle, and the officers were called for a medical situation, which one of the officers iterates and clearly states that they were called for a medical situation. Now, they immediately get up to the window, they're knocking on it, they're trying to make contact, and the guys are clearly asleep. So, okay, they're asleep. At one point, we see the driver wake up. Once the driver wakes up, just looking at him even before he wakes up, there's no vomit on him, there's no blood anywhere. It looks like you can see chest rise and fall, so I can deduce that he's not choking, at least, especially at the point that he starts talking. He's not bleeding out, and he is breathing. Medically, he looks fine. He's not seizing. Medically, he looks fine from the plain view. Medically, he looks okay. The encounter should stop not long after that. After they deduce that, hey, this guy doesn't need medical, they should just immediately go back to the security officer and figure out, hey, all right, they're fine. Like, what do we want to do from this point forward? But they don't do that. They immediately, upon knocking on the window, ask the guy to step out of the car or ask him to open the door at least. They at least ask him to open the door. I'll start there. Pennsylvania versus Mims would normally allow that, but in this situation, Pennsylvania versus Mims does not apply because it's not a criminal investigation. It is a consensual civil welfare medical check. So Pennsylvania versus Mims cannot apply in a wellness check. The other thing that we have to think about here is if the vehicle's not in motion, there's no traffic infraction, the officers are acting under community caretaking doctrine. Why are we escalating this further past that? Opening the door immediately violates their Fourth Amendment right, because a car is your private dwelling. In order to try to see if the person is medically okay, you don't need to open their door to do so. They can just roll down the window and you can talk to them through the window like you would in a traffic stop. if you were to stop somebody in traffic, you wouldn't just immediately open their door if they're awake. If they're awake and they can talk to you, you're not going to just open their door because you want to continue to ask them questions. You'd only ask them to step out of the car if you feel like officer safety's at risk.
Y'all can take me to jail.
1500 block of Washington. Are you?
Now that bitch right there called the police on us.
Why are you calling him a bitch? But why are you calling him a bitch? At the end of the day, he was.
Don't answer any questions.
He called police because he was afraid that you guys were passed out dead in your car.
No, he already spoke to me. That's a lie. That's a lie. He already spoke
What's
to
a
me.
lie?
That guy spoke to me already.
That's crazy. You were
Take me
dead
to jail,
asleep,
man. If you
man.
want to take me to jail, take me to jail.
Why am I gonna take you to jail?
Take me to jail. Y'all already pulled us out of the vehicle.
That
You
doesn't mean
didn't
that-
even pull me over and you pulled me out of the vehicle, so you
course.
had no right to fucking put
Of course
me out
I
of the
can.
vehicle.
100% I can.
No, you can't. What crime
No.
was committed? What crime was committed? I got a ticket in my vehicle right there. I got a
Alright,
ticket in my
you
vehicle.
want to play the smart game with me? What crime was committed?
What crime did we commit?
Is that a lawful carry?
So our friend in this part of the video is absolutely right. Like, you've pulled me out of the car. At this point, we can assume, it's reasonable to assume that you are being detained. What crime am I being detained for? You were here for a welfare check, and then you found a gun, but you only found the gun because you illegally opened my door to try to see if I'm medically fine. You've deduced that I'm medically fine. I'm standing up. I'm not swerving. From this point, we can hear that his speech is not slurred. It seems like he's articulating himself pretty clearly. So what further reason is there to hold me here? In terms of our Fourth Amendment framework and how that actually works, the Supreme Court in Arizona versus Grant in 2009, a warrantless search of a vehicle requires probable cause or a recognized exception. So they can try to articulate that the recognized exception is the firearm inside of the car. Granted, they still do not search the car. They only take the firearm out, render it safe, and then they go and run the NICS number. Opening the door without justification of how a crime is being committed or exigent circumstances needed to open the door during a welfare check likely makes them opening the door and finding the firearm there an unconstitutional seize of property, because Fourth Amendment protects us from unlawful search or seizure of our property and of our person. So from this point forward, it's already gotten, we already have a civil rights violation of the second type, including being patted down. Me being asked to step out of the car and being demanded to step out of the car, again, makes me, at this point, one could reasonably assume that they are not free to go, that they are being detained. The officer also gave him another pat down just to guarantee that he doesn't have any other weapons on him. At no point in time did you see a weapon on him when shining your light through the door. Even at the point you were talking before your partner found the firearm, you did not see any weapons, nor were you concerned about any weapons. Therefore, you've already violated this person's Fourth Amendment a few times now. So let's keep watching. Let's keep seeing what else happens and how this continues to unfold.
Is that a lawful carry?
We're gonna have to find out, violate more
Was
of my
that a
laws.
lawful carry?
You're gonna have to violate more of my laws.
Let me
to
ask
find
you
out.
that question. Was that a lawful carry? Since you know your laws.
How do you know I got a firearm in my vehicle? Because you.
Because it was in plain view.
You're unlawfully winning my. Did I open my car? Or did you open it?
I opened your car.
Are you recording?
I am
Yes,
recording.
you are recording.
100%
okay.
recording.
That's a fucking lawsuit on your ass.
Great.
Take me to jail. I don't answer questions.
Okay, perfect.
I don't answer questions.
Just know what it's not. Confirm, FBI.
Fucking pussy. That's all you are, is a pussy. You fucking spoke to us too. Oh yeah, that pussy right there. Just don't answer questions, guys. They can't force you to talk.
I have you around 34. You slow down to routine. Slow down to routine.
What was it 3 for?
426. They're also diving the 334. 420.
Oh, it's close by though. Who? A nearby call, bro.
Illegally pull us out the car because they know they could have asked the question in the car when we were sitting in the car. We don't answer questions. Just don't answer questions.
Hear you? Okay. You want to do 139? You could. 100% you could. Do you want to?
It's not my call.
What do you mean it's on your phone?
Your call.
It's not my call, bro. Are they legally parked here?
As far as I know, the legal park, but they're sleeping in the garage.
They said stay in your vehicle. So it's
So they can stay in their vehicles? You're trespassing them?
Yeah. You a trespass who?
Okay. So you don't.
You're soliciting a trespass?
There's a
Is
public
that what
parking
you're doing
lot.
right now? You're soliciting a trespass. Soliciting a trespass.
Yo, can you? You didn't say you want to exercise your Fifth Amendment? Exercise it. Exercise your Fifth Amendment, all right? It's your Fifth Amendment.
Soliciting a trespass.
I'm trespassing. I asked them to leave the garage. There's no sleeping in the garage. I asked them to leave. They refused.
So there's no sleeping allowed in the
There's
garage.
no sleeping allowed in the garage. I asked them to leave. I asked them to leave the garage. There's no sleeping. He said he's gonna leave. I said, okay, it's fine. You're gonna leave in a few minutes. You're gonna leave in a few minutes. Come back. They're still here. I said, if you don't leave, I'm gonna trespass you. I come back. He's still.
You told them
here.
that they were
I'm
gonna
gonna trespass you. I come back. He's still here. He's still here. I knocked on the door to tell him, you need to leave now. He's still here, knocking on the door. I said, okay, fine. I'm the police. I see him in the garage. He's got a weapon. You're
But
trespassing.
just to confirm, isn't these one of the public garages that if they,
Oh, this is his garage.
but they can pay here and park it,
You
right?
can pay here and park. You can come in this garage. You're sleeping in the garage. There's no sleeping. There's no camping allowed in the garage.
Is there some sort of signage that says that?
Huh?
Is there some sort of signage that says that they can't sleep in this garage?
Yeah, there's no sign, but the same that everyone knows. Camping allowed in the garage. Camping allowed in the garage.
And is this one of the camping? Like, is this them camping here? I don't think they're camping. I think they're
Sleeping in
just.
the car in the garage.
Okay.
Sleeping allowed in the garage. Camping allowed in the garage.
Okay.
You can't sleep in the garage. I drive through here, I see you sleeping. I see you sleeping in the car. I say, hey, you park here. I see you sleeping in the garage, sleeping in the car. You gotta go. Okay? You go ask, okay, can I leave my car here and I just get out and leave? Okay. You wanna get out and leave? You can leave. You can leave your car here.
My constitutional
I come back here. I sleep in the car.
So you want them?
You're sleeping in the garage.
Let me educate you.
But you're sleeping here.
And you could go to jail.
Now he's refusing to get out. No. You gotta go.
Okay.
Okay. You have to leave. Okay. You have to leave. Okay.
So you want them to leave or you want them to trespass?
I want to trust.
Okay, so at this point, they have now finally talked to the security officer, figured out what the entire situation is about, and how the officer wants to move forward, considering this is a private parking garage. Now, they established that they were legally parked there. So, again, they're legally parked in the garage. No crime has been committed. They were sleeping in the car, and the security officer says that, there's no sleeping in the car. The officer, I think this is Officer Cordoza, asked, is there a sign that says that? How are people supposed to know that they are not allowed to sleep in the car? Now, the security officer is saying that he spoke with them, gave them a chance to leave. They still didn't leave, and he said, if you guys pretty much don't leave, then I'm going to have to trespass you. And then they probably fell back asleep, or maybe they just completely ignored him altogether. Whatever that situation is, it is the right of the security officer who is acting on behalf of the business. If he wants to trespass them, he can absolutely trespass them for any reason. There does not have to be a particular reason leading up to trespassing an individual from a private property. So, what the actual police report said, which you guys can comment down in the comment section right down below, do you agree with this articulation in the actual police report? So the police report reads, once the door was open, the defendant exited the vehicle voluntarily. I'm just going to assume that means that they're saying that he did not put up any struggle to exit the vehicle, although he could have. If he would have, likely the officers would have gone hands-on to take him out of the vehicle and immediately placed him in cuffs for resisting arrest. But at this point, he is unlawfully being detained for a welfare check. Or at least in their eyes right now, the reason he's potentially being detained is for having an unlawful carry. That could be their articulation at this point. Officer Cordoza and I observed the defendant had watery eyes, a strong odor of alcohol emitting from his breath, and was unsteady on his feet. I mean, you guys just saw the video. Did he look unsteady on his feet? The watery eyes, like Officer Cordoza just said, he was dead asleep. When you wake up from a dead sleep, oftentimes your eyes can be bloodshot red. You could just be completely just fuzzy from coming out of it. Strong odor of alcohol emitting. Courts have determined that the smell of alcohol alone does not constitute being drunk. Alcohol could have spilled on his shirt. He could have just been around alcohol. There's a number of things that could have contributed to the reason that he smelled like alcohol. And during the interaction of them, Officer Cordoza and the defendant being so close, Officer Cordoza never mentioned that there was a strong odor of alcohol coming off of his breath, which would indicate that he was being drunk. At the end of the police report, it says that the defendant advised the officers that he did not wish to speak with us. When the defendant did speak to the officer, his words were mumbled and could not form clear and concise sentences. At no point at any point of the video did Officer Cordoza say that he couldn't understand the individual because he was mumbling. You guys can hear him very clearly on the body cam here. All of his sentences seem to be very articulatable. He's talking about constitutional rights. He's recalling everything that happened up to the point that the officers made contact with him. So to say he's not forming clear and concise sentences can strongly be disagreed and proven based off of body cam recollection.
You can't talk to nobody.
He's a fucking
I'm just telling you something we're sleeping.
Hey, we're not gonna discuss this. Listen,
No, listen to me.
Hey, sir, you don't have to talk.
No, you ain't got to talk to nobody. Just go back to business.
All right.
You know you fucked
Let's
up.
take both of them over here. Let's just talk to both of them at the same time. Can you step over here for me, please?
You can't talk to nobody.
I don't answer any questions, man. If you're
I'm giving you.
lock me up.
I'm not locking you up. Can you step over here?
I don't answer any questions.
I'm not asking you a question, bro. Stand over there.
I don't want to talk to
I'm
you.
giving you a directive order since you know your law.
A lawful
Stand,
order? A lawful
directive,
order?
lawful order. Stand
What
over
lawful
there.
order is that?
I'm asking you to stand over there
What lawful
so I
order
can
is
talk
that?
to you.
Okay, I'm gonna stand over here.
There
I
you
don't want
go.
to talk to you. I don't answer
Perfect.
questions.
Can you stand over here for me, man?
Now you want me to tell y'all.
Just so both
Bro,
of
you
you
finna
know.
lose your fucking job.
Just so
If I go to
both,
jail, you finna lose your fucking job.
just so both of you know.
What's up?
Listen up.
Just so both of you know what's going on.
Talk to me.
Gentleman over there wants you trespass from the parking
You
lot.
can't trespass us. He
I
I
never
don't know.
asked us to
No.
leave.
He didn't talk to us.
He never asked us. No, and no, listen, cuz.
Let him
In
do
order
it.
to be trespassed,
No,
he has to ask
let
us
him
to
do it.
leave.
Let him do it.
He never did.
And have his guilty conscience.
He never
Go home
did.
and fuck
Because
up.
you asked him on your camera, do you want them to leave? He never told you that he told us to leave. So you can't trespass us. Only thing you can do is ask us to leave. So ask us to leave. Anything outside of that, you're violating our constitutional rights.
Okay.
Let me know when you're done talking.
Is this shit recording?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're recording.
good.
That shit is
Let me
fine.
know.
Now, did you ask us to leave or yes or no?
Stop talking to him.
Did you ask us to leave?
Stop talking to him.
Did you ask us to leave?
Did
Talk
he,
to me.
Did he
Listen to me real
ask
quick.
us to leave? Yes or no?
I don't know if you did or not.
Ask him.
Listen to me real quick.
You can't trespass us if you don't know that.
No. Forget it.
You
forget
can't
it.
trespass
no,
us.
Cause
You don't even know the law yourself.
No, it's okay.
You know the law. You're right.
No. Cardoso. The fuck? No. Listen, I'm tired of this shit.
The
right
fuck
now.
what?
You born and raised here,
Okay,
bro.
the fuck what? What are you trying to say?
Cardoso, what'd you say? You want us to leave? We out of here.
No, I'm not done.
Oh, really?
You're both
They
getting
wouldn't
trespassed
violate
from the
rights.
parking garage.
That's fine.
All right.
You want us to leave? We out of here.
We need your information.
Now you need to. Now you need.
100%. How am I gonna trespass if I don't know who
You
you are?
can't trespass us if he never asked us to leave.
Now I'm gonna
The
tell you this.
trespass law doesn't work like
Let me
that.
tell you this.
Now, what did
If
he
you
tell
don't
you?
give us your
No,
information,
listen.
you're resisting without violence, and that is an arrestable offense.
What did he tell
So we're
you?
gonna go either that way, or you give us the
But
information.
what did he tell you?
All right.
You want to trespass from the building.
My
That's
friend.
what we are doing.
I'll try to hear
He's
this.
not your friend. He's
You're
not.
not-
My bad.
You don't want anything here?
So you said you want to trespass, right?
Okay.
Make sure you test your wife, your children, all that bullshit.
You ready?
Oh shit, what's my ID?
Sir. Can I get your ID?
I ain't got my ID. Nah, give it to you.
I'm speaking to you.
Can
I have your ID? Sir,
I'm gonna let you violate my rights, bro. Go all the way.
can I have your ID?
Go all the way. Violate all of my
Can I
rights.
have your identification?
Violate all of my rights, bro.
Can I have your
I want your job. I want your job. I want your job. I
identification?
want your job. Violate all of
Can I
my
get your
rights.
first name?
Violate all of my
Can
rights.
I get your last
He
name?
never asked us to leave.
Can I get your first name?
You solicited.
Can I get your last name, sir? I'm gonna ask you one more time. If not, you're resisting. You understand that? Can I get your first name, sir?
Bro, just give us your first and last name. It's simple.
Sir, can I get your last name?
I gave him a number, bro.
No one's talking to you.
Tell your boy.
Can I get your first name, sir? I'm gonna ask you 139. Failure to identify. Sir, I'm gonna ask you one more time. Do you want your name? Can I get your name, sir? First and last name.
Give me your first and last name.
Cuz, man.
Just give me your first and last name.
That's an easy lawsuit.
First and last name.
I don't care. Give me your first and last name. All that. No,
I'm gonna
it's
ask
gonna
you
be
for
a
your
lawsuit, but if y'all want to do it, y'all
Super
can do it.
34.
Okay,
Super.
okay. Are you threatening to arrest me if I don't give you my name?
That is a lawful
Are you
order.
are you
I'm
gonna arrest
asking
me
you
if
for
I
your
don't give you
first
my
name.
name?
I'm asking you for your last name. I can honestly see how
Under
intoxicated
duress,
you are.
under duress?
Honestly, 100%. You're dead intoxicated, man.
Because you ready.
So again,
played great in
so
court.
can I
I get
get
it.
your first name? I'm not scared to go to court, bro. I know how to do my job. All right. You can do all the threats that you want. You can give it to someone else, not to me. Your first name?
First name is Robin.
Robin? You said Robin?
Security.
That's what I said.
I'm security too. You know that? I'm a security
Last
officer
name.
too. Yeah, that's great.
Francois.
All over.
Francois. How do you spell it?
Everywhere.
Where's my
Oh,
firearm?
it's not awesome.
How do you spell your last name?
You ain't
FRANCOIS.
talk to nobody.
You a fucking
Act like you
pussy.
talk to somebody, but you didn't.
You are a
Do you
pussy.
have a middle name?
That's what he is.
Do you have a middle name?
You're a fucking bitch.
Man,
Robin.
it's okay, cuz.
Do you have a middle name?
Man, so
Can you turn that off for me? Do you have a middle name?
well, I gotta turn it off.
Can you
Turn
turn
it
it off?
off too.
I'm not gonna touch his property.
Nah, you're not gonna touch it.
Oh, they opened our door, got us out the car, and I'm not gonna touch this possible.
No.
Oh, I'm not gonna violate his rights.
It's okay.
Fucking pussy, man.
All right.
Okay.
100%. 100%.
I'll be who you are tomorrow.
We will FOIA request your video.
You
We'll
understand?
FOIA
Don't get upset about what I just did. Oh, now you want to arrest both of us?
Oh, 100% I'm gonna arrest
Because
him.
what? Because what?
I'm gonna 39 both.
So this part of the interaction becomes very interesting because the officers say that if you do not provide ID, you are resisting without arrest. That would imply that they are being legally detained for a crime. We've already established that the officers are not here on a criminal investigation. They were here on a welfare check. I've done many trespass as security, and you do not need the person's name nor their ID to trespass. I wonder if I can find the video. I might have deleted it by now, but I believe it's Osceola Sheriffs I'm working with in the moment to trespass an individual who was alleged to have been inappropriately touching minors or looking at minors. They did not ask for ID. They literally, I think in the video, they literally said that he doesn't have to give us his ID. In this situation, they do not need ID. They do not need a name, a first name and last name in order to trespass the person. At the point that the security officer says that he wants them trespass, you tell them, hey, you're trespass, you need to get off property. I think I have a few videos of us trespassing individuals. If I do, you'll see them. If I don't, it means I've deleted the videos by now. But to say that we're going to arrest you for resisting without violence if you do not give us your ID, when I'm not lawfully being detained for a crime, you're here for a welfare check. We have well established that I do not need medical assistance. You're trespassing me. Okay, if you're trespassing me, give me an opportunity to leave. They have not given an opportunity to leave. There's no need to give a name. And then to not give your ID doesn't necessarily justify resisting without violence. To resist without violence, a person has to lawfully be detained or under arrest and knowingly obstruct or oppose the officer's efforts. Not giving you my ID does not actively oppose your efforts, especially when you're trespassing, because a verbal trespass is plenty. Now, if the security guard would ask for it to be documented in an affidavit, yeah, at that point, the officers can then try to get their ID to actually document it down so the people can never return. But that's not what the security guard asks, and the officers cannot just assume that that's what the security guard needs. So what they're saying right here is completely wrong, and it's quite ironic that the officer goes, oh yeah, you know the law better than I do. In this instance, yes, the defendant does know the law a little bit better than you do, Officer Cordoza, simply because you don't like the individual, you don't like the tone, you don't like how they've been acting, so you're doing everything you can to get something to arrest them for. But again, you don't need ID in order to issue a verbal trespass, and resisting without arrest does not count for a person just not giving you their ID or answering any of your questions. Miranda right gives them the right to remain silent, and the Fifth Amendment gives them the right to not incriminate themselves. They are legally able to practice all of that, and if at the end of the day you feel like you have enough to arrest a person and bring them down to the station, you can do so. But that is not what happened at this point in the interaction.
About what I just did. Oh, now you want to arrest both of us?
Oh, 100% I'm gonna arrest.
Because what? Because what? He's about to give you information, you don't want to take it? Don't get offended, bro. Don't get offended. No, because you know you ain't talking to nobody, man. You can't do that, man.
You fucking got us arrested?
Come on, bro. You know that's wrong.
I'm coming for your job, man. I'm coming for your job too. I'm coming for your job.
I'm telling you right now.
Does he not want to do shit now? All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Cuz.
That was a very interesting point that just got brought up right there. The security guard backs down on him wanting to actually trespass them, and you can hear one of the other officers say, "Oh, he doesn't want to do anything anymore? Well, let's get out of here." No other officer on the scene besides who seems to be Cordoza wants to No other officer on the scene besides Cordoza wants to bring charges against anybody in this situation. Again, they were there for a welfare check. They have deemed that these people they don't need medical attention. They are very coherent. They are very articulable. They are standing upright. It doesn't look like they're a danger to themselves or anyone else. The situation is over. This call is over. But again, because Cordoza's already engaged and he's been arguing with them back and forth, he is invested emotionally and with his ego into the situation, and he will continue to prolong this entire interaction much longer than any other officer actually wanted to. So,
Brothers, talk to him about that. That ain't got nothing to do with us.
Oh, no. They realize they fucked up. No.
Y'all just doing y'all job, right?
Where's my fucking gun at? Where's my fucking gun at? Where's my fucking gun at?
Your fucking gun.
Where's
You're
my
heavily
fucking gun
intoxicated.
at?
You're
Who
not
is heavily intoxicated?
You can't.
Did you do a DNI test on me?
Relax.
DNI test on me? Motherfucker.
Relax.
I'm intoxicated.
Okay.
Give me my fucking gun.
Cardozo.
I'm coming for your job.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
What he said is what he said.
Does he not want to do shit now?
No, he doesn't want
He
to do
didn't
it.
talk to us.
Kick him out of here.
Brothers, talk to him about that. That ain't got nothing to do with us.
Oh, no. They realize they fucked up. No.
Y'all just doing y'all job, right?
Where's my fucking gun at?
Quit the
Where's my
stupid
fucking gun
threats,
at?
bro.
Where's my fucking gun at?
Your fucking gun. When
Where's
you're
my
heavily
fucking gun at?
intoxicated, you're not
Who
gonna
is
get your
heavily
gun.
intoxicated?
You can't. You want me
Did
to
you do a DNI test on me?
DNI test? You can't even
Did you
walk.
do a DUI test on me?
Fucking.
Motherfucker.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro. I'm down.
Give me my fucking gun.
We're fucking disorderly.
Garcia, we good, bro.
100%.
Like that. We all from here.
Fucking trying to hide.
I'm born and raised here, bro. We born and raised here.
And you know better. And you know better.
What you mean we know better? We ain't even talk to us.
How have you been talking to us? Tell me right now.
How did
From
I
the
talk
moment
to you?
we started
How did
talking.
I talk to you?
It's not about how did you
Nah,
talk.
it's not. No. He said,
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
Cardozo, he knows.
Everything you say, they will use against you.
Cardozo.
Everything you say, they will use against you.
How was I talking to you personally?
Huh?
How was I talking to you? Fuck what he talking
Give me
about.
my fucking
How was I
gun.
talking to you? You got mad because I finally got pissed because of what the fuck is going
Yo, why
on?
did I get mad?
Because you want to arrest him.
This
I
is
didn't
going
get
to be
mad.
great in court.
What you're doing is you're forming a show. And
I just said I'm born and raised here.
both of you are
And it's
screaming.
only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ain't nobody. How we doing the show?
You're screaming into a parking garage, bro. You're screaming your ass off when all of us
Because
are
you're
parking.
violating our rights.
Because
You're violating our rights.
He
That's
said what he
why.
said. He might be
Give me
wrong.
my
He may be
fucking
right.
gun.
I don't know. He may be wrong. He might be right about his rights being violated. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, you didn't talk to us. He said he spoke to us, and he's going to trespass us. It's one thing if you
They
spoke to a person.
solicited to trespass.
Give me a second. Stay with me real quick. Yo, let me talk to you real quick.
We all come here, bro.
What are you doing? Cutting them loose or what do you want to do? Right, this guy doesn't want to trespass him. Why are we wasting our time? So we hit him with disorderly?
You can hit him with disorderly, you can hit him for unlawful carry. Since he wants his firearm back so badly. He's intoxicated.
Okay, don't hold it to the wall. No, they can't do that shit. That's fucking theft. You leave that in my car.
This guy doesn't know jack shit what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
This guy is throwing it 100%. He has no idea what to do.
Yeah,
You were the first one here? Huh? You were the first one.
Then Cardozo. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is 39. 100%. I would have 39 a long time ago. 100%. I want to be here 2 minutes. I would have 39 a long time ago. But again,
Let's do it.
again, I'm telling you what you want to do.
I don't
I'm
care.
trying to let you take lead on shit. What do you want to do?
I don't care.
You don't want to do it?
I honestly don't care.
Bro, chill out, bro. I'm having a conversation. I'm just saying chill out. Okay? Everything that I say hurts you. See what I mean? 100%.
Then let's do it. Let's do it.
Do you want to do it?
Let's do it, bro. If we're all saying let's do it, let's do it.
Again, you have lawful carry. You have open container in the back. This guy, bro, you can do SFST on him. Okay? Because he's behind the DUI. Alright? So do you want to do it?
No, do you want to do it? Let's do it.
Come on.
We can't do it here though.
And the keys are on the floor.
Nah, they're in the box.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So at this point, Cardozo has turned off his body cam. He goes back to the car, maybe to make a phone call. We don't know because body cam was turned off. Then he comes back and he has a talk with the other officers to figure out what charges they're actually going to bring against them. All the other officers at this point in time want to leave. Yes, they can possibly get the defendant on disorderly. If you want to get him on that crime, get him on that crime. If that's what you want to do, Cardozo, you need to do it. But it seems like Cardozo, again, I don't know if he's an FTO, which is a field training officer. I don't know if Officer H is in FTO still, maybe third phase at this point in time. I'm unsure of what that relationship is because they weren't in the same car. So it looks like he could be in third phase, or he is just in his first few months to, maybe first 6 months of being on the road alone. So Officer Cardozo continuously tries to pawn off leading the charges and leading the investigation on Officer H. But again, Officer H just does not seem like he completely and 100% agrees with Cardozo. But eventually, we will see what happens where Officer H does fold and he says, hey, if you want to do it, let's do it. Which, I'm with him at that point in time. If you want to charge him, charge him. Let's stop sitting here debating back and forward. If it's a clear crime that's been committed, let's get him for the crime and let's get on to the next call. Why are we still sitting here debating what we're going to do? If it's clear, it's articulable, and it's without a reasonable doubt, go ahead and do it. If there is a reasonable doubt, can we not just go get out of here, go get lunch, go on the next call, or go hang out wherever we got to hang out? What is the process next?
There's a flat area right here. He's gonna, Spencer, more than likely he's gonna refuse. But you can still ask him.
Yeah.
The other guy, I don't want to do anything. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The other guy, I'm not doing anything.
It's the leader guy.
Yeah. I will go exactly that way. Unlawful carry. And I'll hit him with it. Of course you are. You're going to own the whole building. Unlawful carry. Behind the wheel of a car. He has an open container in the back. Ready to identify himself too. To do it over there. Double DUI. Sir, can you follow this officer's instructions? Yo, you're good to go.
No, but why him?
He's behind the wheel and he's intoxicated.
Listen. Hey.
Listen, didn't you tell me you were cool with me?
I'm cool with everybody.
You were cool with me, right? That's not nothing to do with me, bro. That doesn't hurt me. People have talked to me worse.
So now they're finally going to do a DUI field test. But we can see Officer H he's not about it. He's like, what do you want to do? So now they're going to finally do a DUI field sobriety test to try to determine if defendant number 1, which is the man with the shirt off, if he is actually intoxicated to the point where he can drive or not. Officer Cordoza, you guys could hear him like, hey, this guy doesn't want to trespass him. Let him go. Like, let's just cut him out of here. Again, I would say Officer H, at this point, it's been a year since this case. This is, almost literally a year to the month that we're doing this. I hope you're a little bit more assertive in terms of like what you are willing to go for and what you're not willing to go for. I know how hard that can be though when you feel one way, another officer that probably has some seniority over you feels another way, and you want to back them up to a degree because that officer has to have your back. If you undercut him in this situation, you kind of make some friction in that relationship, because what if he doesn't watch your back during another call? What if he doesn't uphold another charge that you want to bring against somebody when you are actually the one leading? But in this situation, even if you're a rookie, stand behind your principles, stand behind your morals, stand behind what you truly believe is to be fair, and let them know, like, hey, let's cut these guys loose. Like, this is not worth our time. Yes, he's being loud, but you two have been going back and forth for forever, and there's no need to actually do so. We need to be able, especially in the tech community, private security is the same way, because again, we don't have immunity. If one of those guys is being too active and we need to take a step back, I have done it many times where it's like, hey, you need to step off. Like, you need to step back, let this guy go ahead, or I'll take over from this point because you're just too invested into this situation. You're hot right now. You need to cool off before this goes somewhere that we don't need it to go. Officer H, at this point in time, I do hope you are a little bit more assertive in terms of your beliefs and what you believe to be fair and right when you're in the field. Even if an officer has seniority over him, I think you will gain more respect from that officer by pulling their coattail and pulling their card in that situation and be like, hey, this just ain't worth it. This ain't what it is. And other times, when it is what it is, back them on what it is in that moment.
You put your phone on the hood of the trunk of that car, okay?
What's that?
You put your phone on the trunk of that car, okay? Alright, we have reason to believe you're under the influence of alcohol, okay? So you consent to standardized field sobriety test?
I got cash in the car.
I'm gonna ask you again. Do you consent to standardized field sobriety test?
I don't.
You don't. So you don't want to take part in standardized field sobriety test? Okay. I'll ask you one more time. Do you want to take part in standardized field sobriety test?
No, I don't. Hey, cuz, I got cash in the car.
Okay. Give me a better turn around. Okay. Yeah. Oh, let me, give me a better turn around. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me,
There's a open container in the
Hey, cuz,
back of the car.
I got cash in the car, man. I know how much it is.
Hold them where? Over here? On the same spot here? Yeah. Hey, put one in custody.
2180, 2180.
Oh, he's gonna read the... Yeah. You're gonna have to read it off the paper. You're gonna have to read it off the paper.
Hey, cuz, I got my wallet in the car. My cash is in there. It is what it is.
Hey, did you lock his cuffs? Alright, I'll lock it. Let me lock your cuffs so they don't get tight on you.
They locking me up over disrespect,
Sir,
which is not a law.
anything in your pockets that can poke me if you're inside me?
And in your pocket, there are you previous time?
I don't know what's in my pocket.
That can actually cut you.
Spencer, let me talk to you.
My car is hot.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna turn it right this way.
Are you gonna? Is it over here? You have your camera on? Alright, let's talk over here. I don't want to.
So they did end up booking the defendant on the end of this. He refused to do the field sobriety test, which, you know, that seems like the one thing. And we even heard Cordoza say it in the beginning, which again, I won't say it's entrapment. I'll look that up, and if it is entrapment, we'll let that one ride. But he told Officer H that he's probably going to refuse. If he refuses, that's an automatic justification to arrest him and bring him down to the station. Now again, he has articulated himself very clearly through this entire thing. When they asked him, do you want to consent to the field sobriety test, he said, I do not want to. He's telling his cousin that he has money inside of the car because he thinks they're going to impound the car. All his articulations have been clear. Even him walking to the area where they're going to do the field sobriety test, he was not stumbling. He walked pretty normally, as if anybody else that is not intoxicated. So it seems like they asked him to do the field sobriety test for the DUI was the one thing that they could actually do in that moment to guarantee that he gets in cuffs and gets in the car and goes to the station at the end. The charges they end up bringing against him: violation of concealed weapon and firearms license, which the defendant let me know that was dropped right away in bond court, I believe he said. I got to read the email again, but that charge was immediately dropped. Weapon openly carried. Now, this is where, as a firearms instructor, I will articulate it. Again, and even without my articulation, to be open carrying, again, the definition is on or about the person, carried on or about the person, to be seen openly. When they shined the flashlights through the window, they did not see a firearm on his person. It wasn't until they opened the door that they saw it. But again, did they have justification to open the door? This is a civil welfare check, not a criminal investigation. Pennsylvania versus Mims does not apply in this situation because this was not a traffic stop. It was a welfare check. Once you determine that these people are alive, they are breathing, and they do not need medical attention, the welfare check is really over. It's time to see what the security guard wants to do. So the opening of the door is saying that he's open carrying. Can't really be open carrying of anything. The firearm was concealed until the door was open. Resisting officers without violence to his person. At what point did we see that he resisted the officers? Again, speaking loudly and being disgruntled with them is not resisting arrest. You're practicing your First Amendment right. You are allowed to object to what police officers are saying. You are allowed to be vocal with them, even though they don't like it, and they'll typically try to hit you with this charge. At the moment they told him to put his hands behind his back, he immediately did it. They had no issues putting the handcuffs on him. They actually put handcuffs on him twice, as we saw in the video, and neither time did he pull away, resist, or do anything. No one articulated that he was resisting. So the resisting without violence is most likely because of what he was saying. But again, in all of his verbiage, it never stopped them from, it never opposed them from doing their investigation, it never impeded them from doing their investigation, and it never slowed them down in doing their investigation because there was no investigation. The welfare check was over at the moment they saw that these individuals do not need medical attention. So at what point was he actually under arrest? He was under arrest at the point they decided to arrest him for DUI, but at that point in time, we can just see at the end of the video, there was no type of, there was no resistance. He put his hands behind his back and they walked into the car very peacefully, did not pull away, did not fight, didn't even make a fuss once they actually put the handcuffs on him. The last charge, driving under the influence, again, he was not driving, he was not in operation of the car. The car was not on. it was not in gear. The car was off. So is it just because he had the keys and that he was in the front seat that he was driving under the influence? And again, he chose to not do the field sobriety test from the body cam. We can see it does not look like he was under the influence. He was not slurring his words. He did get the DUI terminology mixed up, but he immediately corrected that because he's so flustered and talking a lot in the moment that he, mixed up the letters and the acronym for it. That doesn't automatically justify that a person is intoxicated and that they are slurring their words. He's just in the heat of the moment, misspeaking. I do that in these videos all the time. So, the last 3 charges, the open carry, resisting, and the under the influence, are the charges that he is still fighting. To this day, even though it's been a year, he has not gone to trial for the case. So, from what he told me, his lawyer is now going to ask for a speedy trial to be done because it's been a year without any type of anything going on. Probably because a lot of these charges are just trumped up for the simple fact that Cardoza did not like this individual. He was argumentative with the individual, and the individual was argumentative back. So Cardoza did whatever he could find legally to justify getting this guy in handcuffs and getting him down to the station. Unfortunately, this happens more times than not. If I was audited the audit, I would give Officer Cardoza an F for his behavior throughout this thing. He was the first one to drop a curse word. He immediately said, "Open your effing door." The moment he opened the door physically, it was nothing but contradiction. I won't say contradiction, but condescending interaction from that point forward, saying, "Oh, you think you know your law? Well, what about this?" From that point, he kept trying to find charges to bring against him: disorderly, unlawful carry, this, that, all these different charges. Eventually, the only thing he could get him on was asking Officer H to do the field sobriety test, knowing that he would likely refuse that field sobriety test, and if he refused, then he would be justified in being arrested and taken down to the station from that point forward. This is one of my first body cam reviews. I might have made some mistakes throughout this in terms of just my speech. I hope I spoke a little bit slower throughout this process for you guys. Really excited about this video. I'm really happy that the individual sent it to me. I can't wait to get Brandon's, who's an actual defense attorney's, interpretation of this. He's watching the videos because I sent it to him yesterday, so I'm interested to hear what he says. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to support, like, comment, share. The OTB merch is linked somewhere that you can go and buy it. It's the Range apparel off the beep. If you like that kind of deal, if you go to the Range and you use a shot timer, the off the beep merch is for you. Even if you're just a person that does anything where you hear a beep and the beep is your starting your film content, off the beep is the way to go. Go check out the merch. It is very cool. I like a lot of the graphics on there. If you need dry fire tools, Mantis Blackbeard system is in the link down below. SG Global Timers in the link down below. GBRS gear is in the link down below. And while I'm saying this, Vader holsters, I know a lot of you guys actually want a different type of holster. Vader holsters is running a 20% off deal all of July, 20% off of anything. It is code BANG. I will have a discount code for them later, but their code BANG is more than my discount code actually is. So if you're looking for a new holster, go down to Vader holsters. It is in the description down below. Go and check out all the other affiliates, whether it is body armor, clothing. I have a lot of different affiliate links for you guys in the industry. I really thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much. I will see you all in the next video. Stay on mission.
This shit off the